All right. Gonna be talking about the S197 Mustang today. My favorite generation of Mustang. This could be 2005 to 2009. I think it's the best looking Mustang, which, you know, the original ones from the 60s are good. They look great. You know, maybe they're better looking, but for me personally, the look of the S197 has got to be my favorite. The 2010 to 2014 or whatever, you know, I like the 13s and 14s a lot. You know, and most people think they're the best looking of the S197. But you know, when I hear S197, I think 05 to 09 Mustang. But I mean, technically, the 10 to 14s are as well. But the 13 and 14 are the ones that people like the most. Me personally, I like the 05 to 09 look the most. But I do like the 13, 14s a lot, actually. I like them a lot. And then the 10, 11, 12s are not so great. I don't like them as much, really, look-wise. They got, you know, the Laguna Seca is cool, the Bossio 2, all of those are cool. But so the 05 to 09 Mustang GT was, you know, after what, like 35 years or some crap of the Mustang not looking like the original Mustang. They finally come out late 04 as an 05 model year. You could get the 2005 Mustang GT or V6, and it looked just quite similarly to the original Mustang. I mean, they look, you know, they did a great job. That's why I like it so much. They did a fantastic job on it. So yeah, and really, in my opinion, it hasn't. They kind of went back. Like, it still looks like an old Mustang, even the newer ones, but they not really. I mean, like, I think they still look good, but like the 05 to 09 really captured the original Mustang. Like, I mean, the tail lights, the front end, like it looks like the original one, just like, you know, modernized, but, you know, retro classic, like all those early 2000s cars. But yeah, I think it's the best looking one. They came with the 4.6 liter 3-valve motors, so, you know, a little bit better than the 2 valves that came in the new Edges from, you know, 2000 to 04 or whatever. Not quite as cool or as good as the 4-valve from the new Edge Mach 1s, but still not bad. And then you had some, you know, you had like special versions of the S197, like you had the Bullet Mustang, you had the let's see, what else did they have? They had the Bullet, the GT California Special, which in my opinion, I'm going to put a picture here of a white with black stripes, you know, 2007 GT California Special. That right there is my, besides the Celine body kit S197s, that is my favorite looking Mustang ever. I mean, dude, fuck, that is good looking. That looks so good. So, you know, you had that, and then you had, you know, you had your Celines, your Roushes and stuff, and then you had your GT 500. You know, that's the pinnacle of, you know, the 05 to 09. You had the GT 500, which I don't really like. They're cool, obviously. They're really super swaggy. They're pretty much the cheapest, like, Shelby Mustang you can get, because they were made by SVT, like Ford, and not actually Shelby America or whatever. They were made by Ford Special Vehicle Team. Not badged in SVT, it was badged in Shelby, but it wasn't actually made by Shelby. Yeah, you had your GT 500, you know, and you can get these, you know, you can get a S197 GT 500 07, 08, 09 for like 25 grand. So, you know, they mostly sit around 30, but you can find them as low as 25. And for that price, I mean, honestly, you're getting quite a hell of a car. I mean, that's a pretty crazy car for the money, but still not my favorite, you know. I just like, I think the GT California Special looks better, honestly, but that's just me. I like the wheels that came on those GT 500s. They look really good. Talk about power wise, those 3 valves in the stock GT. We're not gonna talk about the V6 because who the cares about that. You've got your 3-valve 4.6 liter, which, you know, came in a lot of different vehicles, but prominently the Mustang. And I guess the Crown Vic as well, but those might have been 2-valve. I don't know. I think they had 3-valve. They were 3-valve, 4.6. But the 05 to 09 GT, you had 300 horsepower and 300 torque. So the same as my S60R actually. And you get a 5-speed auto, 5-speed manual from 05 to 09. And then, you know, and also I'll mention the 2010, which was, you know, new look Mustang. It also carried the 4.6, so it's kind of considered the worst because it's not as good looking as the 05 to 09, and it's still got a 4.6. And then in 2011 they put the 5 liter in it. So if you bought a 2010 Mustang GT new, you got screwed badly. So dude, you know, yeah, those 2010s are just kind of looked at poorly. They're not. I mean, they're fine cars. They're just fundamentally the same, but you know, they look worse. I like the gauge cluster on them though. But anyway, so you had 300 horsepower in the 0509 GT, because that's what we're going to be talking about. I don't think I'm going to talk about the 13s, 14s, all that. We're going to talk about 05 to 09. So then you had your GT California Special, which you know, in 08, I think, 07, they gave, you know, the Mustang got up to 320 horsepower. So the GT California Special didn't really add any horsepower or anything. It just added, you know, appearance package, you know, and the hood scoop and stuff like that. I'll put on screen what it all added, the GT California Special added. But you had that, the Bullet. I think the Bullet had like 5 horsepower or something. And then, you know, you got that Bullet look. I think they look pretty good. Again, I mean, it's a sexy ass car. And then you had your GT 500s, which had, off the top of my head, I can't remember, like 470 or 80 horsepower. They didn't actually make 500 horsepower like they claimed. And, you know, Top Gear did a thing on that back in the day. But they still make incredible power. It's a lot of horsepower. I mean, it's a very fast car. So, yeah. And then, you know, I'm trying to think of any. And then the GT 500s, I'll have to put in, I think they might have been 6 speeds. I'll put it in here if they're 6 or 5 speeds, but they are manual only, of course. You couldn't get an automatic Shelby Mustang, thank God. And then, you know, all the other cars. And the Bullet, the Bullet Mustang, I'm pretty certain you couldn't get it automatic. You had to get a manual Bullet. So, yeah, which, you know, is really swag. And see, the Bullets only came in that green color, of course, because it wouldn't be a Bullet if it wasn't green. That dark forest green, I don't know what they call it. So yeah, the S197 GT came in quite a lot of different colors. I mean, blues, blacks, whites, grays, yellows, oranges. I mean, it came in a whole bunch of colors. Some pretty cool colors as well. So yeah, I'm just trying to think if there are any special editions I haven't mentioned yet. Oh, look at what we got here. It's like an E-Ray, maybe? I think that was an E-Ray. I don't think it was a Z06, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm just trying to think. I don't think there's any special editions that I haven't mentioned. But I'm trying to think. I think that's all. You had your California Specials, your Bullets, your normal cars, and then, you know, Salines and Roushes. You know, you had the Roush like 427R. You know, and then you had the Saline S281s, and then the Extreme Salines, which had 550 horsepower. Crazy. The S281s had 400 horsepower, 425 torque, and then the Roushes, I think they had 435 horsepower, the 427Rs, I think. I can't remember. The Roush Mustang, I don't, you know, the Roushes don't do it for me. I don't really care about them that much. They're okay. I like Salines way more. I just think they look better. The Roushes they're cool. What's the dude's name? Jack Roush. I mean, he's cool. I mean, you know, he's making some quick cars. He's been around forever. So yeah. But I highly recommend the 05 to 09 Mustang GT. And you know, your 10s, 11, 12s. Because now used, the 2010 Mustang's fine. I mean, you know, you're not buying it new. So yeah, they're fine. And then you have your 13 and 14. You know, in 2011 they came out with the 5 liter. You know, I guess I'd talk about them. You know, you You came out in 2011. It came out the 5.0, first generation Coyote, and 420 horsepower, 400 horsepower. I'll put it on screen, and almost the same amount of torque. And then they in 2011 you could get a 6-speed manual or 6-speed automatic. So yeah, and there's just so many. There's the 11 to 14. There's so many different models and shit. I mean, you've got your GT 500s, you've got your you got your Salines and your Roushes, you got your GT 500s, you got your Laguna Secas, you got your Boss 302s. There's a few more. Like, you got your California Special. I don't think they offered a bullet one, but yeah, there's a Hertz, there's a Hertz one. I'm pretty sure, like a Rent, the Rent a Racer or whatever. Oh, I'm just now remembering some huge things. The 05 to 09 Mustang GT, you could get the Shelby GT. So we'll talk about this. The Shelby GT was so you had your GT 500, or you get the Shelby GT, which had way less horsepower, 325 horsepower, whatnot, 320 torque, and they looked so good. I mean, yeah, it was just it added like some handling stuff, strut, tower brace, different suspension. I think it actually did quite a few things, different tune on it. You got a little more extra horsepower, and yeah, those are pretty highly sought after by boomers. And then you had the GTH, which was the nod to the Hertz Rent a Racer, the original '66 Mustang GT Hertz Rent a Racer. You could rent it from Hertz, and it had a lot more horsepower than a normal Mustang from the time in '66. So yeah, they were really fast. And the GTH is so sexy. If you can find a GTH coupe, a lot of them were convertibles, but a 2006 Mustang GTH, so GT-H, GT, Hertz. Those are so cool. The black and the gold stripes, they look so good. Again, 5-speed auto, 5-speed manual in that, and the Shelby GT. But the GTH, it looks so cool. That's what I say. You had the California Special, the GTH. Like, those two just look so good, and the stock car looked really good too, and in certain colors, especially black. I think it looks really good in black. No surprise, most cars do. They're good in blue. I like it in blue. Red looks good. White, it looks amazing. So yeah, it's a hell of a car. Extremely reliable. I mean, you see them with 200,000 miles all the time, or getting near them. I mean, the 4.63 valve is an incredible, really reliable motor. They sound really good. I don't know if I like them more than a 5.0 or not. I'm pretty torn. 5 liters sound good, but damn, I mean, them 4.6s can sound pretty good. The modular motors, they sound pretty good. So yeah, there's an extremely huge aftermarket, obviously, for the S197. Besides the Salines, your Roushes, and all that, I mean, there's just so many different aftermarket superchargers. There's turbo kits for it. I mean, intakes, exhausts, tunes, fuel injectors, radiators. I mean, everything. Every single part can be, changed on it. MSD coil packs, all sorts of shit you can put on it. And for fairly cheap, I mean, you can make a 400 wheel horsepower S197 for not a lot of money. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend an automatic. They're kind of glass. Comes to modifying, it comes to handling power. And the S197, you're going to need to do some internal, engine internal upgrades to really get a lot of horsepower out of them. They don't handle a lot stock, without upgrading the motor itself and the block substantially. So, that kind of sucks. But you could slap a supercharger on it and an intake and all that and stock, and it'd probably be all right. I'm pretty sure they can handle that. Not no crazy Whipple supercharger or something, like some 2+ liter supercharger. Not gonna do that, but you could add a Whipple supercharger, or probably Whipple probably makes one. You can put on the stock one, but you can add a supercharger, twin screw, centrifugal. You'd be fine. You could probably put all sorts of different centrifugal superchargers on it. These are usually not as you know, they don't make as much power as the twin screws do usually. But yeah, you can modify the hell out of an S197. You start getting into you know, modifying engine internals. I mean, yeah, you can get a lot of horsepower out of them. Drew Peacock, you know, has a famous S197 GT Mustang that he's thrown a 5-liter block in it, so it's not a 4.6 anymore, and he's got a big Whipple supercharger on it and all that. So yeah, I used to have a Saleen supercharger on his, but when he first bought that car, but it's been through a lot, and now it makes like 1,000 wheel. So, you know, yeah. But of course, it's got a 5.0 in it. A lot of swap, you know, a lot of people swap 5.0s into them. Not uncommon to see. But yeah, overall, incredible car. They're fairly safe, fairly economical. I don't think they're too economical, but they're not bad. I think you can get 20 miles a gallon out of an S197 GT. Like if you're driving sensibly, I think you can. I'll put the gas mileage on screen. Again, not the most practical thing ever, but not bad. Decent trunk, you know, back seats that you could probably fit someone in for a short period of time and they wouldn't be too upset about it. Yeah, fairly comfortable. I've ridden in one. It was all right. It was fairly comfortable. I had no problem. You know, you got your decent features for the time. I mean, overall, it's a good car. So yeah, rear-wheel drive only. All Mustangs are rear-wheel drive, and there's never been, to my knowledge, an all-wheel drive Mustang. And there might have been a front-wheel drive Mustang in the 70s, like the Mustang 2. I don't know. Those were so shit. That wouldn't surprise me. Probably not, but yeah. Yeah, and the S197 only came in. You can get the V6 one in there, whatever. You know, a supercharged V6 one would be kind of cool. But yeah, at the end of the day, be for real. You know, you get the V8 or you don't. You don't get the Mustang. I mean, like, come on now. But yeah, overall, S197 is my favorite looking Mustang, and it's just the best one. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Buy yourself a 05 to 09 Mustang. Yeah, I forgot to mention, you know, overall price, you can get a S197 GT for less than 10K easily. And they're pretty good deals overall. 10 to 15K will get you an immaculate S197 GT. So yeah, just forgot to add the price of them in there. But yeah, they're pretty good value for what you get. You can find them as low as $7-8 grand and get yourself a good running and driving Mustang GT. Look at the camera.